Greetings, grasshoppers. Welcome to the show today. My name is RJ Redden, and if you don't know me, entrepreneurs hire me to set fire to marketing methods that are no longer working for them because most have a lot of problem getting traction online, can't get traction. In fact, many can't get traction to save their lives. And so I create messaging that connects, builds relationships, and closes deals. Awfully happy to have you today on the show. Jennifer Hudson, hello. How are you doing? Great to see you. If you are watching anywhere on the internet except for the Black Belt Bots page, I won't get your questions. So tell you what, go to the post where you see me. Go to the post right above my head. There's a link in there. There's a link in there that will lead you right to the Black Belt Bots page where you can ask questions and get answers. Because today, we haven't done this in a while. Today's newbie day. Yes. If you are brand new to bots, I invite you to come in, ask me any question you like. I will, if I don't know the answer, I will find it out. But most of the, I know most of the questions you're going to ask already. So jump on in here. Come in, talk to me. I will be covering a few questions and then I will be taking yours. So get those ready, or just pop them in the comments. I will be able to see those and respond to those. So welcome. Jennifer says, I am a newbie. I've tried with ManyChat and got lost immediately. Jennifer Hudson, you're not alone. You're just not. It's a wonderful program that has many, many features that you can take advantage of. Unfortunately, most computer programs are written by technology people who have the curse of knowledge. They know where everything is. They forget that it's awfully confusing to somebody who's just stepping into that field. So you're not alone. And there are ways around that. So I'm glad to see you. Chris Ann, hello. Happy hump day. Well, it's Tuesday where I'm at, Chris Ann. But Teresa, you have a question. What's the best way to randomly send messages via my bot? Randomly. Could you talk about that? Are you talking about using the randomizer? Because I'm not sure. To me, in my bot, I want to send messages. I want to send targeted messages. I don't want to send random messages. So let me know what you meant by that. Very good. I did the same thing and was totally lost as well. Don't feel bad. You're in good hearts with RJ. Oh, you're so good to me. You're so good to me, Teresa. Thank you. Awesomeness. Okay, so I'm going to get started with just the questions that I have here. But again, feel free to jump in and Teresa, if you could give me a little clarification on the randomly sending messages, that would be super sweet. So, how do you get started with bots, right? How do you get started? So, especially if you've had the same experience that Jennifer has had in the comments here, how do you get started? You've heard about the open rates. You've thought about a way you could maybe use this in your business. You're excited about bots. And then you jump into that interface and you go, what's this? A lot of the menu is down the left side there. A lot of that menu is they're technical terms. They're technical terms and they're not necessarily humanized very much. And that's not really ManyChat's fault. They're in the business of producing something that we can connect to people with in a way that we've never been able to before. It's valuable, it's awesome, and they're not necessarily interface people all the time. That's just what it is. So what do you do when you jump in there and you don't know what to do? So there's a lot of ways around this. There's a lot of ways around this, but if you if what you want to do, there's tours and stuff that you can take, and ManyChat has a free class as well. I've not heard great things about it. Once again, written by folks who are deeply mired in technology and don't remember what it's like to be not deeply mired in technology. I'll tell you that the most important tools to you right now in that left hand side, the most important tools to get started with are, if you go to Flows. Flows is almost all the way down on the left side. If you hit the button in the upper right hand corner that says New Flow, start there. Start there. You'll be able to, when you hit New Flow, it'll put your beginning block. The ManyChat messages are a series of building blocks. Okay, think of it that way. It'll put that first block right in front of you. There'll be a little canvas where you can edit stuff on the left side. Start there. Just start building something there, because what will happen is, if you like go through and see what all you can do on every single tab, by the time you get down to the settings, your brain will be mush. It's just, there's so much new information in there. So do this. Start at Flows and start building something. There are some building blocks that you can use, and maybe I'll do a little video of this as well, because it just is so, it's so hard to just get something down that first time. And yet, if you leave without building anything, I know that people feel very frustrated when that happens. Jennifer says, I don't even know where that is. See newbie. I need to wipe everything and start from scratch. Oh, I have met several people in that situation. Yeah, I managed to get a pop-up on my real blog, but no idea how to remove it. Oh, that's so frustrating. It's been a while since I've been through their start process, but I imagine that the reason that you got a pop-up on your real blog and that you don't know how it got there or how to remove it, during the welcome process for ManyChat, they actually want to engage you in building something right there. Unfortunately, they don't give you a lot of signals and signs to say, hey, we're building something and we're totally going to put it on your blog. Are you cool with that? They don't say that part. They're fascinated with their own technology. You know what I'm saying? So I do know how to fix that as well. That's a tough one. Let's see. Teresa says, and this is the random announcement question. Like, if I wanted to send a message to all the people in my bot, that is bot part of a sequence I created. I want to share an activity today in the bot, but it's not part of it already. You would do a subscription broadcast, Teresa. You go to the broadcasts area and start a broadcast and broadcast it to all of the people that are in your bot. If you wanted to do a broadcast to everyone, set up a broadcast, and then there's just a couple of screens to look at there. I won't go into it. I've noticed that when I do a step-by-step share on these live streams, people hate it. So I don't do them anymore, but yeah, that's what you do. If it's not part of if it's an activity that's not part of something already and you want everyone to know, you'll go to the broadcast tab and broadcast it out to everybody. Let's see here. Ed Weinberg, bought your course, don't have the time to learn it. How much to configure something for me? Well, my friend, that is, I don't generally talk about my prices on the air, but I'm gonna throw something up for you, Ed, so that we can meet, you and me, face to face. Couple of silver spoons. I'm dating myself. But let's meet face to face and talk about that, Ed, because that's usually better. I'm going to throw up this link right here, and that's for a 30-minute appointment, Ed. And anyone else who wants to go, and pretty simple to type into the browser there. pretty simple to meet up and talk about what things would cost, because I'm totally willing to talk about that. But yeah, I want to get back to newbie questions here if I can. Uh, Jennifer, I know they're paid bots, but what's a good one to start with for free or very cheap? I've been looking at $5 a month, maybe. Well, I don't know of a messenger bot platform that is free. ManyChat's free, but it limits you in the things that you can use. And it also does this when you send a free message, when you're on the free program and you send a message to somebody, it will have ManyChat's branding on the bottom of it. Do you want that? If you want that, then if that's cool with you, then you can use the free version of ManyChat. It will limit you every once in a while. So, for instance, there's just certain tools that you can't use on the free plan. ManyChat is $10 a month. The pro account, and I think that Chat Fuel, which is another major brand, they're about the same. So if you want to totally keep the cost down, it's totally possible. But yeah, there's no $5 a month program that I can think of right now. Let's see. Teresa, forgive my typo. Yes. Okay. I know what you mean. Just wanted to be sure. Sure. Absolutely. Ed, I'll message you, Ed. Awesome. Silver Spoons, used to love that show a long time ago. Yeah. All right. Very good. So back to questions, and throw them in the chat if you've got them, my friends. How do you get started with ManyChat? For me, the best way to get started, and the way that'll build your confidence the best, is if you go down to flows, you start a new flow, and just start toying with it. Get in, swim, experiment a little bit. I've got courses. If you want courses, I've got courses as well. But if you want to just dip a toe in without having to commit to a course or anything else, go to the ManyChat interface, select flows, new flows in the top right-hand corner, and get started with it. Jennifer says, okay, thanks. I could always start for free and see how it goes. Yeah, you absolutely can. And there's nothing wrong with that, because bots are, when you decide, hey, I want a bot, this is it, we're going for it. When you make that decision, even if you keep it free, if you keep it no cost to yourself, it's still going to cost you your time. It is a time investment, and I won't lie to you about that. The best bots out there keep their people engaged on a regular basis. Keep people asking questions, keep people answering questions as well. Keep people in the loop of what's going on without being bothersome. And that does take some days it's significant time. Some days it's a little bit of time. It's kind of unpredictable. I always say plan 20 minutes a day. But even if you do keep it no expense to yourself, which you totally can, I need you to know it'll cost some time to monitor, to engage people, all of that kind of stuff. Chris Ann says, so I'm looking at flows. So start new flows in the upper right. Should I delete old flows? Don't do it. You don't need to do that. If you want to get started, just hit new flow and kind of go from there. Very good. So that's how you get started. Literally this one, text block, image block, delay block, those types of things, right? But how do you get started in bots generally? What's the first type of sequence you should write? What do you do to, how do you engage people? What should your expectations be? I've talked to a lot of folks over the past year and a half that I've been doing this. I've talked to a lot of folks that say, I'm having a challenge next week. I want to get a whole lot of people in my bot for the challenge. How do I do that? That is that's somewhat of a difficult order sometimes. Reason being this, that everyone for a messenger bot, they need to opt in. They need to opt in. In order to get people to opt into something, it's a little bit longer than, I mean, it's the same as trying to get someone's email address, right? There has to be, a concerted effort. The likes on your Facebook page are not going to translate directly into opt-ins. Nothing directly translates into opt-ins. So it's some work to do. What I like to recommend to people is 30 days before you start your challenge. Unless you have a huge list of people who are panting to buy from you right now, you want to at least take 30 days out from the time that the challenge starts to run and start to collect people. Start getting those opt-ins. Start conversing with people in your bot. Start looking at how the whole thing works. If you're doing this by yourself, it's a big job. So start looking and understanding how all the machinery works before you let that challenge loose. Because during the challenge, technology is going to change or break somehow. It's okay. It happens a lot. And technology changes all the time. So the growth tool that you're using to get people in, or maybe the mechanism that you're using to deliver the messages to people, maybe you wake up one day and it's a little bit different. If you have taken the time to get to know the system first, you'll be a lot more able to solve problems like that when they come up. Does that make sense? Do let me know. Let me get some questions here. Very good. Jennifer says, right now, I think I'd be just looking at it, using it to send info, kind of like a Facebook Messenger group chat, like when we have a new product launch. Eventually, I'd want to get into them asking questions. Yeah, you can totally use it like a Facebook Messenger group chat. Only difference being that it's one-on-one. So it's a group chat. Group chats are different in that I put up a message, and the 7 people who are in there they all see the message and can respond to it in the one main thread. The difference when you are using a messenger bot is that when you send a message, even if you send it out to all 7 people that are in there, I'm just using 7 because it's kind of, it's easier to kind of visualize. You can send a message to 7 people, but that's 7 different threads. Person 2 can't see what person 1 has written back, or that person 1 didn't answer. So you can use it like that. Just so that you can step a toe into the water and start to get used to it. Okay, perfect. Catching up here, Chris Ann says, so I have a digital lookbook. I want to offer those following the page. How do I invite for lookbook? Okay, very good. So that would just be really giving away a freebie. That's just giving away for freebies. So what you could do is post, do a post and say, hey, I've got this lookbook available. Super excited about it. If you want to take a look at it, click this link, and have a link to your bot there. I mean, that's a pretty simple way to do it. But really what I'm saying here is, if you have ever produced a freebie PDF, a digital lookbook, a recipe book, whatever it is that you have ever used to promote, to get people's email addresses, it's basically the same in a bot. It's the same. You have this freebie available. Please do this thing, click this link, and you'll get your digital lookbook. Deliver the lookbook first thing. Do this for me. Don't make them wait. Deliver the lookbook first thing, and then just say, hey, I'd love to keep in touch with you through Messenger. You can expect messages from me, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, something like that. Is that okay with you? I ask people's permission, and I try to be very open and honest with what the bot does, that it's a chat bot, that I'm going to contact you again, because this is information that people are starting to expect, honestly, within Messenger. We've always kind of lived with this paradigm that we look around on the internet and we see something we're interested in, and then boom, we go to get it, and they say, okay, we need your email address, and you give them your email address, not always a real one, and then you go ahead and consume that thing. That paradigm is changing with Messenger, and so for me, best practices is, after you've given away the lookbook, here's some expectations. Is it okay that I contact you here? You want Everybody's been focused on numbers all this time on their marketing. We've all been focused on how many can you get into the funnel, because the way that funnels work, even if you have never done one marketing wise, and funnels belong in kitchens, that there are more people in the first stage than there are in the last stage, which is some sort of a transaction or some sort of a relationship has started. Everybody knows that. So we're all sort of acting as if, got to have more people on the list, because that means there are more people on the outer rung. That means there will be, more people that filter down. I don't know that I think about it in that way anymore, because then you're focused on the number of people on your list. In Messenger, it's more quality over quantity. It's quality of the people that you're talking to, quality of the people you're connected to, involved with, engaged with. These are people that you might want to get to know past a transaction. So I know that's a lot to mull over right now, but I just wanted to say that thinking about it differently, when I'm building bots, I think about it differently, and that has served me a lot. Okay, digital lookbook is the last question I have, so put them on in there. And while you're doing that, I'm going to do this. I'm going to look at my questions. Okay, so getting started, you want to give yourself some lead time. If you've got a big launch coming up, give yourself at least 30 days. Give yourself 30 days to collect people, to figure out how the machinery works, to develop really good habits of checking ManyChat 20 minutes a day. My clients, I make them all swear before they sign the contract. I do. I make them all swear that they will do the care and feeding of a messenger bot in a way that develops relationships and gets results for them. Because otherwise, if you build it, they will come is something that Kevin Costner said in the 90s for an imaginary baseball field. It's not true on the internet. If you build it, they will come is not true on the internet. And you don't want to spend your time building something that is vastly beautiful, incredibly sophisticated, and just makes you want to get moist all around the eyeballs whenever you think about it, if nobody's ever going to see it. So I invite you, if you're thinking about getting started, if you've got a launch in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, give yourself some time to dive into the product, play around with it a little bit, figure out how it works mechanically, because then as you get into your challenge, as you get into your launch, then you'll be able to better deal with whatever comes up. So that's how I would get started. I got this bot started by building a challenge. And when I say this bot, I mean black belt bots. I didn't build a challenge. I built a mini course, a 7-day free mini course that you can take within my bot. And it will tell you all about bots over the, first 7 days or whatever. And that was fine. But what occurred to me eventually was that sometimes people were making it through 1 or 2 days of a bot and then just hitting the talk to human button. Some people made it all the way through the process. Some people, but some people were, after 2 days of it, going, "Well, I want to schedule a call and hire this person." And so it didn't work the way that I expected. If you provide an engaging experience for people, if you provide them some value, if you make them think every once in a while, that is a bot that they're going to want to come back to. The worst thing in the world is when I open my email inbox and I see a torrent of email from a bunch of people that I don't remember wanting an email from. That's the worst. And so you want to have the 180-degree different experience with your bot. You want it so that when people open up their Messenger inbox and they see your page icon right there and they see the name of your page, you want them to smile. You want them to think, I can't wait to see what she has to say next. And believe me, it happens with bots. It happens with bots all the time. So very good. So getting started, start slow, darlings. Don't start with your pedal to the metal, because you will miss a lot of the things that can be very valuable to you, and you might not get as much value out of the bot as you put in. So that's the moral of that story, just in case you're wondering. I'm so happy to see you guys today. Anyway, what's the first sequence you need to write? That's another question that I have on my list that a lot of people ask me. What's the first sequence? What is it? How long does it need to be? How long does it need to be in number of days? How long does it need to be in number of minutes it takes to get through? What's the deal on this? And so, and the answer, of course, the answer is different for everybody, right? If you're doing this by yourself, you're going to want to write something simple. You're going to want to do that so that you can get it out there. There's a lot of things to think about. There's GDPR. There's California laws about, chatbots coming into place July, but, we need to be ready, right? There's, what kind of experience you want to create. There's what's your unique value proposition in a bot. So many things to think about that you want to set your sights on something that is small and manageable for your first time out, because you can then add to it. You can look at how people responded to that 3-day challenge and then add on some content that would make it more valuable for people, and then invite people again. You can keep adding on. In software, they call it a minimum viable product, an MVP. So let me go back. Let me go into deep geek syndrome right here, and talk to you a little bit about software history. And those of you who know this story, super cool, but many of you probably don't, is that back in the day, in the 80s, early 90s, when people made software, they would make it by a process that we know as the waterfall method, which is stage 1, analyze, 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 analyze. Okay, have we done that enough? Okay, good. Stage 2, the plan, boop, boop. Okay, stage 3, and then, it goes through 8 stages that way. The problem with going through stuff that way is that technology changes and people change their mind about what they want. And every time somebody changes their mind, then you have to go back to step 1. Analyze, analyze, analyze. So it's a problem. In the 90s, they came up with something called agile methodology, which is basically creating something instead of going through all of these 8 stages that take forever and have a million billion checkpoints in them. Instead of doing all of that and having a fully fledged product at the end of the process, build a little one right now. Build the minimum thing that you can put out there. Put it out there, test it with people, and then add to it. And that's the way that I build my bots. I want to, when I'm starting a bot for a client, I want to put a welcome mat out there that people can get in with. In that welcome mat, we talk about expectations. We talk about, I introduce the chatbot. I tell them how to unsubscribe. I tell them what exactly they can do in the bot. And then I offer them some options to start playing. Those options can be very simple. Things like ask a question. That's fine. That's fine. It's great. Gives people an ability to talk to a human being. That's wonderful. You absolutely want to offer that. So start simple. You don't have to have a challenge ready. You don't have to have a 3-day anything. You could just have a welcome mat ready to get people in, to welcome them in, start some conversations with them, start connecting with them and developing relationships. Then think about, okay, what's my sequence? What's the sequence that I need to build? So anyway, I got totally off track and I started talking about software. Whew, somebody stop me next time. Anyway, the minimum viable product. So what is it? What is it that would delight your audience to know? That's the answer to the what sequence should I build. First sequence is always a welcome, but after that, when you're building the challenge, when you're building the mini course, when you're building some valuable information that people will access, what would your audience be delighted to know? What would they be delighted, sometimes not to know, but delighted to experience? That's a really important thing to think about as well. What's the experience that you want to create, and what would they be delighted to experience? I've got a client right now who is on her way to a speaking engagement, I believe. And she is moving and grooving with her bot because every time she's about to do a speaking engagement, we think about who are the people in the audience? What would they best react to? What kind of experience can we give them that will make her stand out in people's minds? That's what we talk about every time. Is a welcome mat also a flow? I build them as flows, Chris Ann, because it allows me to reuse stuff so I don't have to rewrite things all the time. So I write everything in the flow section. I write everything in the flow section, and then I will go out to the rest of the bot and connect growth tools, connect sequences so that it all flows together. But I build it and I get it right in the flows section. Okay, very good. So what's first thing sequence you need to write? Answer. What's going to delight your people to know? What's going to delight your people to experience? Those are the things. Those are the things that you need to write about. And writing a sequence, how to tell, it's a more advanced question. How long does it need to be? What are the things that you need to do inside it? To me, that's always a conversation of, okay, you've got this knowledge. These are the things you want to teach. These are the exercises you want to put people through. This is the experience that you want. How can we do the most valuable thing first? To me, a sequence, I like to keep them between 5 and 7 days. That's my audience sweet spot. That might not be yours. So know your audience well. Know your audience well, or if you get to that point and you need to know them more, interview some. That'll really help. Jennifer says, I just went to see about deleting my current bot and see that I have 9 members. I had no clue. I assume I can leave them there and just start creating new flows. Yes, you can. You will not, those 9 folks, they're never going to see the flows that you're creating. They cannot see the screen that you see. They can only see you in Messenger. that I am in fact back and not just pretending to be back. Looking at the screen here, I think I'm coming back. Let's just see. Very good. Okay, so Jennifer says, sorry about that, kids. Be Live must have glitched. I guess I meant if I want to restart from scratch, should I delete them and have them start over with me with the newly designed bot? You can. Well, is there a way? You can unsubscribe them if you want to, but there's really no reason to do that. Because people are just going to, when you start broadcasting and start your bot up, people are going to follow along with you. There's no reason to have them start fresh because you haven't really sent them anything yet. Does that make sense to you, Jennifer? Let me know if it does, or let me know if we need to have another try at that question, because there's nothing, there's nothing there in the middle of that's going to be interrupted. Basically there's nothing going to them right now. So you can unsubscribe them if you want. They'll have to resubscribe to see your messages. But there's no need to unsubscribe them if you don't want to. Okay. Fantastic, darling. Good. So, here is the third question that I have that people ask me a whole lot, and I wanted to answer today. How do you know your bot's ready to launch? How you've been working on this thing, you've built it, it's beautiful, you love it. How do you know it's ready to launch? Rule of thumb: give it to 3 trusted friends. And just give it to them to test out. The reason why I'm saying 3 is in, software again, but in user testing, they say between 3 and 5 will usually catch any mistake that you have. To me, I would hand them to at least 3, and I'd probably favor 5, because sometimes people say they can do stuff and they don't have any control over their time, and they really won't be able to do it, even though they just said they could do it. So I'd ask at least 5 and get people to run through it and see, take their notes seriously. I found out when I was first building bots that I had the messages coming way too fast. Like, people didn't have time to read the last message before the next one was showing up. I read fast, everybody. Not everybody in the world reads that fast. Also, when you are working on a bot, you know exactly what the bot says. And so you read it a heck of a lot faster than you would if you were just reading it for the first time. So now I have a little formula that I use for the delay times between the messages. Because I was serving up valuable, great, wonderful, beautiful content that was really annoying because I had it set to go too fast. So never would have found that out without my testers. Never would have found that out without my people going, okay, RJ, you might be setting these a little too fast. So folks are going to notice things. Folks are also going to notice when things don't necessarily make sense. They're going to notice when, okay, you just said we were going here and now we're here and I don't understand how we got here. Those types of things will be really, really valuable for you. So how do you know your bot's ready? You've tested it with a few people. You've had a few people run over that content, and you've gotten it to a place where you've taken their reactions to that, and you have, you've made the adjustments on your end. I would not get your mom to review your bot. Okay. I would not do it, because or people that will not necessarily just tell you the absolute objective truth. This is something you're putting out in public. You absolutely want it to be awesome. And then the other thing is, and I go over this in the class that I have, you want to take a look at the messenger platform terms of service. I know I just put you to sleep. I know you're snoozing on your desk right now. No, it's okay. I want you to go, when you're up, I want you to go make a cup of coffee and go read the Facebook terms of service. There's a lot in there about do's and don'ts and things to be careful of. You don't want to go against Facebook terms of service. Here's why. Facebook can take away your messenger account, your business messenger account, like that. Boop. They, and sometimes, it's hard to get a person to talk to at Facebook as well. So you want to familiarize yourself with that stuff. I'm not saying you have to take a read on it every week. But I am saying, if you don't take my class, at least get a cup of coffee, familiarize yourself with that stuff. And know this, above all things, if you are messaging people to connect, communicate, and have a conversation, if that's your aim, then you will run afoul of the terms of service a heck of a lot less than if your intent is to hit them with enough messages that they'll just finally buy your product already. That aim will run afoul of the terms of service a lot more often. They've said this in any number of ways, in any number of appearances, and in the terms of service as well. They put this option, they put this mechanism there, this opportunity for us as businesses to connect with people. But they want the messenger platform to be a place where people talk to the people they care about and the businesses they care about. Be a business they care about. Be someone they want to talk to, they're interested in talking to. Be someone that offers value. Don't be someone that beats them over the head with, oh, I've got this for sale. Yeah, everybody's got something for sale. Be someone they want to connect with. You can do this, and I know you can do it because you've done it personally. If you're in business, you've done it personally. It's just that you don't sit down and think about how you structured that conversation, because it's natural to us to have a conversation and connect with somebody when we're in person. In bot form, bot allows you to put enough personality into your chat bot so that you can take that personal conversation and do a one to many. If 100 people hit on my chatbot right now, I'll be having 100 conversations. So it allows us to take a personal conversation and scale it. But we need to think about how that personal conversation rolls. We in order to design a conversational chatbot, then you've got to know the conversation that your people want to have. And that hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that is a road that you can find yourself going down. To me, hey Roz, you're not late. You're never late, Roz. But to me, that's the point of these. To me, I see messenger marketing as so different from any other kind of marketing out there, because it really makes people feel seen and heard and cared about. And that's the bottom line for me. If I can make people feel like that within the bot, then I've won. When's the last time you got an email and you thought, they personally thought of me when they wrote this? Probably not super often. When's the last time you passed a billboard and you thought the same thing? A lot of marketing methods are out there. They're built for shouting. They're built for magnifying your voice. Social media, it's built to magnify your voice. But what I'm saying is, with bots, you can absolutely magnify your voice. You can magnify your voice so much. But you also, because it's a conversation, you're only 50% of this. And engaging people to talk, to share about the stuff that they're going through, the problems that your business is designed to solve, That's a wonderful opportunity, but you got to get a conversation going. It's not one way. Jennifer says, okay, this queue might be harder. Well, then. I cannot see anywhere in my ManyChat account how it's connected to my blog. Might be in the Facebook settings or in my blog settings. I remember doing something, but not exactly what. Okay, Jennifer, I get you. So you're wondering what it might have done to connect to your blog. So look at your blog page and tell me, Jennifer Hudson, do you have a bar across the top? Boop. Do you have a pop-up that comes over the page and talks to people and says, hey, sign up for my bot? How is this appearing on your blog? Tell me that. Okay, very good. So we have talked away almost an hour. This getting started with bots is something that I do every once in a while. I noticed a lot of new people came into the group over the weekend, and I just wanted to address, some questions that folks might have. If you're watching this on the replay and you've got more questions than what were asked here, I urge you, throw it in the comments for me, because I'll come answer it. I will. This is what I do. These are the questions I love to answer. So if you've got questions, throw them in the comments, even if you're watching this on the replay, because I will come by. Jenny's here. Hey! Okay. Jennifer, you have a green pop-up bot that says, hey, hi, can I help you? Interesting. Teresa, how can you attach the bot to a blog? I thought you could only put them on Facebook pages. I'm confused. If you look through the growth tools, Teresa, you'll see that there are many ways to engage people and bring them into your bot. The first 4 on the top of the page, in fact, are, I believe, things that will hook directly to your website. Jenny says, I always show up at the end. You know what? You show up at the perfect time, and you know that. I'm so glad that you're here right now. I can't even say. Jenny is Coach Jenny, everybody. Look her up on Facebook. You will be glad that you did. So Jennifer, you know what? Let's do this. A green pop-up bot. Did that happen the same time that you started your ManyChat account? Because the color green is what's throwing me off there. I'm not absolutely certain that that is a ManyChat thing. So we may need to have a further conversation on that. Again, if you go to this link right here, you can get 30 minutes with me. It's an Ask Me Anything session. You can ask me anything you want. I'll troubleshoot problems. I'll help you strategize your bot life. You can make sure you want to get into bots. Make sure it's right for your business. It's not right for everybody. People that want to set it and forget it, I tell them don't get into bots. So bots aren't right for everybody. If you want to find out if it's right for you, if you want to talk to me a little bit and see what's going on with some of these things, you can do that too. I invite you to get on my calendar now. I'm leaving in about a week. Week and 2 days. I am leaving for a boat, and I'm going to be on a boat for a week. So it might be tough to get in on my calendar before I go, but you certainly will be able to get in there on some day in some way. So very good. Give me let's get together, Jennifer Hudson, so that I can figure out exactly what's happening, because I'm not picturing that in my mind right now. Very good. Roz says, my first effort was about, as you say here. Very good. Found it. Green is my logo color. Okay. It is under the growth and the settings wheel. I have my website authorized. You sure do. Yeah, you have to do that in order for them to put a bot on it. Roz says, it's a sleep thing with me here. It's 5:30 a.m. when it starts. I only just woke up. Oh, well, How lovely. Thank you for joining me with your morning coffee. Thank you. I'll play around more. Very good. And then I do get to see Jenny when I am out there in Los Angeles, which is where we are leaving from the port boat. I don't know. Bon voyage. Listen, I'll be lucky if I don't drown. I have never been on a boat before. I've been on a boat, but I've never been on a cruise. So if I come back, everyone, we're going to really have a party then. Okay, my darlings. So that is about it for this particular episode. Thank you all for coming. I'm really enjoying your questions. I'm really enjoying them. I just want to preview something that's going to be coming up. Right now, I have available a class. It's called Black Belt Bot Camp. It's about $300. It's videos, me talking you through stuff. Some people have found it to be very, some people have found it to be very good. I am also creating another version of that. I am creating the most handheld, high touch. I'm going to help you learn this experience that I can build. And I'm doing this because what I have found is that a lot of people do respond to the videos, the step-by-steps, and that's pretty good. But you know what? I think that people are afraid to get into bots because they just don't know what they're getting into, and they need someone to tell them, go this way. Skip the cool blinking lights for now, darling. You need to go down this path and build this thing right now. I'm your person. I'm your person for this. And so I'm going to be creating this. The name of it right now, it's not the sexiest thing in the world, but it's cool. It's Ultimate Chatbot Mastery. I love it. Anyway, I'm going to be creating Ultimate Chatbot Mastery, and I'm going to be having some information sessions about it. It's Coach Jenny that gave me that idea. I'm going to have some information sessions about it where you can pop in, try me out, try some of this stuff out, and if it's all cool with you, then we'll direct you toward that resource or any of the other resources that I have. And with that, we'll get more people knowing about chatbots. We'll get more people shaping how they're used in the world. And then my world domination plan will be complete. So that stuff's all coming up mid-February probably, because I'm getting back from the boat on the 3rd, and we'll start those information sessions. So until then, I do have a show on Thursday. I hope you'll stop by. I have a friend who is an author. She's also a client. She is releasing her book on Thursday. And so I've asked her to come to the show. I've asked her to come talk to us about what the book's about, what she's all about, because I think that she's an amazing person. Her name is Jenny Harkleroad. So she will be in on Thursday, and then we'll have a show on Tuesday next week. We won't have a show on Thursday because I'm going to be getting ready for a plane, last minute packing, and all of that. So keep the questions coming in the community. And my friends, with that, I'm going to see you in a bot.